Hey everybody, it's Chuggaconnor. Welcome back to more Pokemon FireRed. In the last part, we took down the gym leader Sabrina. In this part, we're going back to Fuchsia City. I'm just going to show you a few things you can do here. This guy in here is a move deleter. He will go ahead and delete moves for you, such as HM moves that you can't delete otherwise. He'll delete any move at all for you, though, but those are the... You know, those are annoying, though, because you can't delete HM moves by themselves. You talk to this guy, you can get the Good Rod. The Good Rod is not as good as the Super Rod. It's kind of weird that you get the Good Rod after the Super Rod, but whatever. Good Rod will get you some more Pokemon, though, so now we'll start covering what Pokemon you can get with those, like in this water here. Alright, so for new Pokemon that you can find here while fishing, here we have Poliwag, which you can catch using the Good Rod. Now, Poliwag, I don't really like it too much. I guess Poliwrath's an okay Pokemon, and it's kind of a unique type. It's water fighting. But I guess if you don't want a Poliwag, it might be a good idea to catch one if you want a Jinx, because there's the guy in Cerulean City that'll trade you a Jinx for a Poliwhirl. Then next up we have Seeking Foot! Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna revive that meme. But anyway. Seeking can only be caught using Super Rod, as you see there, but honestly, Seeking's really not that good of a Pokemon. I really just don't like it very much. There's plenty better water types out there. So I'd say pass on this one unless you want to revive a very popular internet meme. If you go back here, you press the A button there, you get a max revive. Very good item, restores a Pokemon that's fainted back up to full HP and everything. Completely heals it. You cannot buy those in stores at any time in the game. They are very rare. You go in here, and this guy is just saying that there's some kind of promotional campaign to try to get to the furthest corner of this fire zone. So, I guess we're going to go ahead and try to do that. This Tubalard here said he was trying to meet Sarah, which I guess is some girl said he'd meet here that, you know, is just standing him up. We have Slowpoke in here, yada yada yada. Now, this Pokemon here probably drove every kid on the block insane when they were a little kid in the 90s. And now this I never got. Voltorb, the very image of a Pokeball. They say that people confuse Voltorbs for Pokeballs, as it say right there. But Voltorb's Pokedex entry, it says it's more than a foot tall. How could you confuse something that's like the size of a baseball for something that's like... never mind. But anyway, yeah. You get... In here you get a, fossil Pokemon, and here you get Kangaskhan. There's just a lot of really different Pokemon in here. You can catch most of these in the Safari Zone, which we're going to now. We're going to have to cover the Safari Zone really fast, though. You know, just because there's a lot of new Pokemon that can appear in here, and I'm probably going to be really tired out from post-commentating this after going through it really, really fast. So, I guess here we go. Here we go! Starting off this laundry list of new Pokemon you can run into is Nidorina. Nidorina is more defensive than its counterpart. The only real reason I would suggest picking one of these up now would be if you have FireRed and you wanted a Nidoqueen instead of a Nidoking, but you couldn't get one because it was too rare earlier in the game. Next up, of course, is Nidorino. Same thing as Nidorina. I would recommend picking one up if you wanted a Nidoking, but you have Leaf Green. Really same thing. It's more offensive than defensive than Nidorina is. Parasect, as I've said before, is not worth your time because its pre-evolutions suck horribly except for HMs, and with how rare it is and how difficult it's going to be to catch, I'm going to say pass entirely. As for Execute here, which I don't understand how eggs are grass and psychic, but whatever, I guess grass and psychic are good same type attack bonus types and everything. It doesn't have the best stats in the world, though, but hey, if you want to be just like the jackass that we were fighting in Saffron City, by all means, pick one up. Fun fact about Rhyhorn is that it was the first Pokemon ever created, but anyway. Rhyhorn here, it's gonna be pretty tough to catch and everything though, but you know, once it evolves into Rhydon, it becomes a very good defensive wall. Like, it can take hits like nobody's business and dish out damage really well. The only thing that's gonna suck though is the fact that it has a ×4 weakness to water and grass, plus it has a lot of other weaknesses that are ×2, so... Yeah, you're going to have a lot of weaknesses, though, but for the types that you aren't weak to, you're just going to absolutely wall them. Chansey here has a really good evolution that unfortunately you cannot access in the main evolution of this game, but as you can see there, it's also incredibly rare and ridiculously hard to catch, especially since you can't weaken Pokemon by their HP in here and you just have to throw Safari Balls at them when they're at full health. This Pokemon is ridiculously rare, but if you can get one, it is possibly the best special tank in the entire game. It has ridiculous HP and ridiculous special defense, and its evolution is even better at that. But like I said, can't get it in the main story of this game. And then following up, here if you have Super Rod, it's very rare, but you can catch Dragonair, which is Dratini's evolved form. If you didn't get a Dratini back at Celadon City, Dratinis can also be found in the water though, but anyway. Dragonair, very good Pokemon. Once it's fully evolved, it becomes Dragonite, which is one of the best Pokemon in the game, yada yada yada. You heard it before when I talked about Dratini. Now that freaking laundry list of Pokemon is over, let's just go ahead and head into the main area of the Safari Zone, where there really isn't much for you to do here. So let's just go ahead and head into Area 1, where there's one new Pokemon that wasn't in the central area, which is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's a pretty good normal-type addition to any team, as you saw Giovanni using it in those fights. I guess if you liked what you saw, and you're somehow lucky enough to get a hold of one, I guess picking one up definitely wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, going on with Area 1, here I'll go ahead and explain how battles work here in the Safari Zone. You can't send out Pokemon into battle. You can throw a Safari Ball, throw a rock, which the rock will make Pokemon more likely to run away, but easier to catch. And then here, I'm going to show you the bait. The bait makes Pokemon less likely to run away, but more difficult to catch. As you saw there, it took me 7 Safari Balls to catch that Execute. After using the bait, when Execute is a fairly easy Pokemon to catch. So if you run into something like that's really freaking rare and really hard to catch, like a Chansey, oh god. It's a nightmare catching some Pokemon here just because it's all luck. And Safari Balls are equal in strength to a Great Ball, though, so they really aren't all that good. And that item down there is a Max Potion. 2 new Pokemon in this area. First one is Venomoth. Now, Venomoth, as I said before, I don't really like it much just because it has a lot of weaknesses, really bad typing, doesn't learn great moves, doesn't have great stats. And the stupid thing is, despite its appearance, it can be hit by Ground-type moves. Stupid, I know. Second one is Tauros, also a very good normal-type Pokemon that appears 1% of the time, extremely hard to catch. On top of that, if you can somehow, someway get a hold of one of these, I commend you, and I think it would make a great addition to any team, actually. Carrying on, here in Area 2, I don't really think there's too much here. There's a Quick Claw there, which will make Pokemon that's holding it occasionally go faster. I recommend giving it to a slower member routine. Like, if you got a Snorlax, it probably wouldn't be too bad of an idea if you don't want to give it leftovers. Down here, this will just take you back to, this will take you down to Area 3, but this isn't where you want to go in Area 3, though, so I'm not going to cover this stuff in there until we get where you need to go in Area 3, because there's 2 entrances to it. TM47 Steel Wing, pretty good Steel-type attack, though, but I don't really think there's any Steel-type Pokemon accessible in the main story that can actually learn that move. Anyway, now that we're in the last area, let's just find the Safari Warden's lost gold teeth. They're around here somewhere. Wonder where they could be. Are you kidding me? They were 5 steps away from that sign that they posted. The guy only needed to walk 5 more steps, and he would have found them. Anyway, if you head in here... hopefully this isn't the guy who posted the sign. He gives you HMO3, which teaches Surf. We're going to go ahead and teach that to Lapras, obviously. It's the, pretty obvious choice to teach it to. And as you can see, we only have 14 steps left in the Safari Zone. Your steps in the Safari Zone are limited. When you have used up all your steps with Safari Balls, you run out. But a tip for spending more time in the Safari Zone is just lightly tap the control pad while standing stationarily in grass, though, because you will just change the direction you're facing, and that can actually make you run into wild Pokemon sometimes. So that's a good way to stay in the Safari Zone for a long period of time. Alright, and we're getting ready to Body Slam, mainly because I want Lapras to be a special attacker. So, there we go, we got Surf. Not bad at all. Because special attackers just absolutely dominate in these earlier games before the physical specials, what happened in Diamond and Pearl. Anyway, I'll just show you what Surf's like. Just go up to water, press A, and boom, there you go. And ding dong! Safari game is up. Alright. So, I guess that's it. I guess now we're done at the Safari Zone. See you guys later. But wait! Actually, if you go back into the Safari Zone and you Surf in the central area, you can go onto this island here, and you can get a Nugget, which isn't really super helpful, but it's alright though. But as you can see here, by surfing in this water, you can go to any area in the Safari Zone you dang well feel like. And you also, like here, right here, I'm going back to the last area, the Area 3. So, there's not much here except for that cabin over there where, well... Oh yeah, there's also this item here where you can get a Max Potion, another really good item. Like I said, Max HP Recovery. You can't buy those for a while in the game, though, so that's actually pretty cool to have. A lot of free items here, a lot of great Pokemon. If you feel like just fooling around in here for a day, these guys will tell you some really stupid, obvious hints that I already told you. So yeah, I guess that's it. See you guys later.